Hello and welcome to the Machinist News Network. I'm Deirdre Kanievsky. Last week we aired a story about the millions of Americans who work full-time, but because of low wages and no benefits, still can't make ends meet. This week we bring you a story on ways organized labor can help close some of those income gaps. Today, we can get food, gas, and money without ever coming in contact with another person. But some wonder if technology is making us less aware of human needs.
We take our children to child care centers. We don't know whether those child care workers have any paid sick leave. We don't know how much they get paid. When people get very old or when they get very sick, we expect to be able to call in hospice care. We need hospice care, but we don't know whether those elder care workers have paid sick leave or how much they get paid.
Policy people, advocates, workers, and economists met in Washington to talk about issues like these, ultimately wondering aloud how to pull the working poor out of the income gap.
But the consistent, most persuasive and winning testimony is from people falling off the cliff. You know, I make $11 an hour. I don't dare make $12.
That may seem like a strange argument, but it's not. Millions of families receive help from the government. But once your earnings hit a certain level, you no longer qualify for benefits like food stamps or child care vouchers. That's the income gap we're talking about. You either make too little or just a bit too much. Many in this room agree a good union job can be the solution.
We've got to have the word organize in our vocabulary. You know, you're all used to having somebody saying, if you could only do one thing about all of this, what would it be? And you know, you're all policy wonks, and you say, no, not just one thing. There's 50 things. So I finally figured out there is one thing, organize.
Today, it seems like the only place left to get employer-provided benefits are in union and public service jobs. In fact, recent statistics show that in America right now, 1 in 5 jobs pays low wages and offers no health insurance or retirement. Labor and economists agree this isn't about privilege, but rather basic human rights.
This argument that everyone in society has a certain right to certain things. And that also becomes what's strategically possible. Does everyone in the United States have a right to live in a safe place? I think they should. Does everyone in this country have a right to see a doctor or some health provider? And I think that becomes a philosophical basis, but it ultimately becomes an organizing and a political question.
Many believe health care is a basic human right. It, along with housing and child care, are the 3 largest expenses that families carry. And the United States is the only developed nation without a national health care plan.
If the person handling your food doesn't have health care and doesn't have paid sick leave and comes to work sick and we all get sick, I don't care where that worker comes from, whether they came from Paraguay or Pennsylvania. They're sick, I'm sick, the food is tainted, we're all in the same mess.
But the tide seems to be changing, and universal health care could become a reality in the near future. There's new politicians in Washington and more on the way. And people, inside and outside of labor, seem to be talking about what's right instead of what's popular.
Frankly, I think the role of organized labor is to bring workers together and try to rebuild a movement. Because I frankly don't think we're going to solve a problem like health care by having committee meetings.
As the presidential election nears, you're going to hear a lot from the candidates on these issues. For more information on the men and women campaigning and those already in office, you can log on to goim.org. Thanks for watching.